Wow. Sì, abbiamo allenamento.
Lo so.
Questo è per la traduzione.
Chi parla in inglese, poi qualsiasi lingua ascolti quello.
Ok.
Prego, Rai Sport.
Good evening. So we know this is a history-making match. You said you don't play finals, you win finals. So what do you expect? History of football also has seen the underdogs win since they managed to actually have that extra kick compared to the rivals. We know what kind of match to expect tomorrow. We know what kind of match we have to play. We know that Manchester City right now is probably the best team in the world. They have proved so because they were defeated very few times. But we know, we're aware of our Champions League campaign. We are proud of what we did, and we will do our very best to play the final. We'll be highly concentrated. We must make no mistakes, and we have to do this because our opponents are a very, very, very strong team. Simone, Inter somehow represents your own story somehow, because you were often brushed aside. You were underrated. A lot of people said they shouldn't even be here. Is this going beyond just being underdog? Perhaps that's even going further. Has all this united you even more? Is your hope of actually succeeding based on this human bond, these human bonds in the team? Well, that's an important point. I was saying this about your colleagues after the match in Turin. Tomorrow will be the 57th match of the season for us, so a very, very long and tiring season. But it's the first 56 matches that allowed us to reach tomorrow's game. We did experience some difficult moments, and that's where I think we matured mostly. Through defeats that we deserved, through defeats that we didn't deserve. We lost several players because of injury for long spells, but everyone else has done a great job. We really got working together, huge commitment, and that commitment has taken us to Istanbul. So we have after conquering the final of the Champions League, we didn't have really much time to think about what we achieved, because we had to still play the Championship, the League, and the qualify, get in the first four. We had the Coppa Italia final. We wanted to win it. We were keen on winning it again. And only now are we fully realizing what we have achieved in the Champions League. But we're not relaxed at all. We are very much concentrated, knowing that tomorrow we will fight for every inch of the pitch, playing against an excellent team. Andrea Chazzy, French magazine. Tomorrow, the key for winning the match, will it lie in the midfield? The midfield will surely be a crucial phase of the match. But aside from the midfield, I think that what will really matter a lot is fitness, legs, mind, and heart. Because you need to be fit to run. You need your mind to stay focused at all times of the match. And the approach to the match will be crucial. And you must really put all your heart into these games, because sometimes that will allow you to attain from energies that you thought you didn't have. Andrea Gavon, SBZ Brazil. This season has been extraordinary, but tomorrow is the great day. It's a great day for Inter, for Italy, for the history of Italian football. Tomorrow, it is a match that is worth an entire life. Can you rewrite history? Absolutely. We know it's going to be a huge opportunity to write a page of history, or Inter history. We know how tough it's going to be, but again, we will do all we can. We will put all our efforts together. Together is the key word. Together we reached the final tomorrow. We'll try to make history. Corriere della Sera. Your brother, Pippo Inzaghi, in an interview said he's not sure whether you'll sleep tonight. So, in your opinion, how can you come to full circle, given that your brother has played several Champions League finals? I have a great team, a great staff, and however, everyone is rather calm. The closer we get to the match, clearly, the more the tension will rise. We know what this match means for all of the interworld, for our club, for our great fans who have supported us greatly throughout the European campaign and really never felt alone. The two derbies in the semi-final really embody it all. But I do not forget the away matches in Barcelona, in Porto, in Lisbon. So great credit goes to them as well. But this extra effort I'm asking of the club tomorrow is something we owe to our fans. Repubblica, all your players, describing your team, say that before the great matches, they are all concentrated, but also calm somehow. I wanted to ask you whether that's the atmosphere, that's the same atmosphere we're experiencing right now. How have you managed the situation so far, since it has led to these positive results? Well, I'm fortunate enough to be at the helm of a group of true, real men. I wouldn't change them for anyone else. The team I have, my players, has been giving me huge joys over the past 20 months. And we have given joys to our club and to our fans too. As I was saying, we feel the great responsibility for tomorrow's match. The lads are calm, however, they are training in the best possible way. We still might have a couple of doubts as to some roles, some positions, some players, Mkhitaryan and Correa, who seem to be recovering. We will have a last training session here at the stadium tomorrow, and then we will do muscular training tomorrow morning. Have you read the words of President Zhang, who praised your calm strength, how he called it? Could this be an asset in a game where one can easily get nervous? And could you tell us more about Mkhitaryan, about his injury? Has he fully recovered? Well, when it comes to the lineup, to the final lineup, we have a last training session today. Mkhitaryan had his first full training session yesterday after 22 days. So we have positive feelings, but in the end I will have to decide whether to field him from the very beginning or to have him on the bench and perhaps field him, send him on during the match. Now, what the president said, that clearly I'm really glad. They really make me happy, but I'm glad that they were not uttered to you of the press yesterday, but that he told us himself. We know we've had some difficult moments. We did win some trophies, but whenever he called, he had a word of comfort, a word of support, and I must say, his words have always greatly supported me because I conveyed all his support to my staff. Hi, Simone.
Hi, Simone. John Rick from Nettavisen in Norway. I guess a lot is about cutting the supply, but as you prepare your team for the final, how will you instruct your defenders to defend around Erling Haaland? We've seen defenders try almost all kind of methods this season, but what is the key in your opinion?
Well, clearly, we know how strong Manchester City is. We know how strong, what a player Haaland is. Clearly, we will have a special eye for him, just as all other players, but we know he's an attacking player, so we have set up something, I've prepared something, but it will be all of Inter, the whole team that will have to defend, trying to limit not only Haaland, but all of Manchester City. Congratulations, above all, for reaching the final. Two things. Regarding City's defense, it's a bit different compared to the defense of Italian teams, especially if you look at the position of Stones, who plays in front of the defense. Many elements tell us that it is a very solid defense. You have to attack them. Some players are slow. What is your opinion? Secondly, have you prepared for the penalties? Have you trained for penalties? Because the final might end up with the penalty kicks. Well, when it comes to penalties, clearly we have trained, we have prepared penalties. We've done that throughout the whole season. And again, we're going to train with penalties today. Regarding Manchester City's defense, it is very, very solid. In Champions League, they conceded very, very little, as they have done in the FA Cup. So you have to be very skilled when you attack them. They are good at defending, they are good at attacking, but aside from the kind of formation, we know what kind of team they are. They are very strong, needless to say. And we'll try to play a match that is worthy of the final.
Please.
Hi there. Live on ITE Sports. 3 Italian teams got into 3 European finals this season. Unfortunately, the other 2 teams lost their games. Do you feel now Inter have to prove to the world that they can make a difference for the sake of Italian football? Thank you.
And no microphone. Sorry. The microphone is off. I cannot hear Inzaghi speaking. The microphone is off. This was very important for Italian football.
Please.
Halo Coach Simone Izaghi. I'm Haris Beladong from Indonesia. Among the 11 starters that you have over the season, it seems that, in my opinion, you're only unsure about one position between Brozovic and Mkhitaryan. My question is simple: which one will you put tomorrow between Brozovic or Mkhitaryan? Thank you.
Obviously, when it comes to the choices over the past 2 months, unfortunately, I only had Brozovic, Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu. That's the choice I had over the past 2 months. But in the first 5 months, I couldn't choose as I would have liked to, as I've been doing over the past 2 months and a half. And I think that the results are telling. It's a great resource for a coach to be able to choose players. As for tomorrow, again, we will see how fit Mkhitaryan is. He's not 100%, obviously. But in yesterday's training session, he seemed to be doing quite well. So I will decide tomorrow.
Last question, please.
Huzaifa Yilmaz from Arabic Post. Mister, at this point, I think it's fair to say you are a finalist, specialist. You have been winning cups. So I'm asking, how do you prepare your players psychologically? And do you have an assistant who only take care of the psychological part of your players for the game? or you do the one-to-one, like talk with the players?
No, chiaramente.
Clearly, I'm lucky enough, as I said before, players who know how to play these matches. They know how to play these games. We do not have players that have played the Champions League, nor have I as a coach, but we have a whole lot of players that played very important games. We have world champions, European champions. So I have a mix of young players and experienced players who have played several finals. Again, you have to be very focused, very clear-minded the whole time. You must be able to handle the details properly, because details can make the difference in these sort of games. So again, we have to perform well in managing these details, which, as I said, can make the difference.
Thank you all. And our Mr. Simone Inzaghi. See you tomorrow for the match. Thank you very much.
Open training.